SSR Movie Zero Geto is in the very unfortunate position of coming into Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade right after Yuta, one of the most anticipated banners in the entire game that everyone wanted to save for. Even Incomplete Domain Megumi got pushed forward and got released before Geto. Nonetheless, this is a very popular character from JJK, and if this is your favorite character, is he actually good? Is he worth to go for if you actually took the hard decision to skip both Incomplete Domain Megumi and Yuta? Let's take a look at his abilities and see how strong he is. To start things off, he will be a blue type character. He does combined damage, both physical and cursed technique damage, but he is a hybrid support / attacker unit, similarly to Megumi, debuffer and damage dealer, so he can definitely do damage. And he actually has some very interesting mechanics. So at the start of each turn, he recovers his own cursed energy by 20. Generally, his kit revolves around having the most cursed energy possible to do even more damage. For his skill 1, he does taijutsu damage, which equals to physical, jujutsu equals to cursed technique damage. The damage is applied to one enemy, and the higher the own cursed energy is, the greater the critical hit rate boost. Nothing major here, to be honest. For his skill 2, he deals jujutsu damage to a selected enemy, but for 3 hits, and if his cursed energy is 30 or above, then he applies a debuff to the enemy for 3 turns, decreasing the selected enemy's taijutsu damage, and then if it is 40 or above, he increases the selected enemy's jujutsu damage received for 3 turns as well. This is a good skill actually, and for jujutsu damage being increased on the enemy, he can be a great combination with Gojo, but they do unfortunately have the same type, they are both blue. For his skill 3, we just have damage to all enemies, and it is jujutsu damage, which is definitely nice, damaging all enemies. The higher his own cursed energy is for this skill, the more damage output he will provide. And his ultimate is actually very similar to skill 3, jujutsu damage to all enemies, not the best multipliers for damage here, and the higher his cursed energy, the greater the damage boost. But when you activate his ultimate, he reduces his own cursed energy to 0. Immediately after his ultimate, no matter how much cursed energy he has, he essentially absorbs all of it, does his damage, and then he will regain some through his passive abilities for the next skill. He does not gain cursed energy from his ultimate for his skills to be more powerful after it. His combo ultimate effect is pretty standard, dealing jujutsu damage to all enemies, which is nice, and for his passive, when he defeats someone, he recovers own cursed energy by 10, and the more enemies defeated at once, with his skills that can of course do damage to multiple enemies, the greater the cursed energy recovery. As we can understand, we have a very unique kit revolving around cursed energy, so immediately he is a great combination with characters or recollection bits that can provide him better cursed energy regeneration. A great example can be Rare Yuki. Unfortunately, not a lot of characters have this ability. I think right now only Yuki does, but quite a few recollection bits do. If you do have the right ones, they can be great combos with Geto. We have to ask ourselves the question though, is he worth over Yuta or even Incomplete Domain Megumi? The answer here in my opinion is no. Both Yuta and Megumi can have more longevity and they can help your account more. Now, if you were lucky and you got Yuta early, going for Geto as well is not the worst idea because they can even work together, but I would probably still save my cubes. If you are a big fan of Geto and this is one of your favorite characters, sure, go ahead, no one can stop you, this is a game at the end of the day, and you should be pulling for the characters you personally find interesting. But let me mention this. Other than the fact that meta-wise both Yuta and Megumi are better, a very similar Geto, kit-wise, he has the exact same mechanic with cursed energy, will be released during the half anniversary of the game. It will specifically be teen or young Geto from the backstory of Season 2, and he will be released alongside teen Gojo and Toji. All these three characters will be coming out relatively very close to each other, and that Geto will be a better version of this one, essentially. So if you really want to go for Yuta, for example, and you're afraid of skipping up on your favorite character, do not worry, you can still go for Yuta or Megumi, whoever you like, and then you can start saving for Geto, the young version who we are going to get during the half anniversary of the game. Another big disadvantage about this character, in my opinion at least, is that he is blue, and Gojo is also blue, the main damage dealer almost every player has. So even though they can definitely work together, it's not the best team formation simply because both are blue. If the enemy does not have low blue resistances, you might have trouble clearing specific quests. That does not of course mean it will be impossible, it also depends on the rest of your team, but it will of course be harder than it would be with other formations. All in all, I wouldn't say he is extremely worth to go for. If you were also to ask me, should I go for Yuta or Geto from the movie Zero events, then I would definitely give you the advice to go for Yuta. He's the better damage dealer and he's also the better character, meta-wise. And that is everything I had for you in this video, but if you are still interested in this character, I will also be making a full guide talking more about him, his best team compositions, recollection bits and stuff like that, so you can perhaps make a more educated decision. If you enjoyed this video though or found it helpful, leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more Phantom Parade content, and as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.